Lawler's back there making his points. Yeah. Clerk, call the roll.
Glenn Whitley, County Judge.
Here.
Roy Charles Brooks, Commissioner Precinct 1.
Present.
Andy H. Wynn, Commissioner Precinct 2.
Here.
Gary Fickus, Commissioner Precinct 3.
Here.
J.D. Johnson, Commissioner Precinct 4.
Here.
Constitutes a quorum.
Thank you. Our invocation today will be delivered by Greg Schugert. After the invocation, please remain standing for our pledges.
Heavenly Creator, thank you for this glorious day and the opportunity to serve the citizens of Tarrant County. Please grant the leadership of this county the wisdom it needs to work through the strifes, the problems, and the issues, and understand that the common goal is that we can make this county, this state, and this world a better place. Please bless us and let us carry us through the day. In your heavenly name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Greg. Mr. Manius, agenda announcements.
Thank you, Honor, members of court. We have one announcement relating to the agenda. That is under Human Resources. It'll be item 8F2. That's a change of the TO and Information Technology. We're going to hold that. Just some other general announcements. This coming Wednesday, tomorrow, there's a PEBC meeting at the COG. It begins at 2 o'clock. Also, beginning next week, we begin our series of town hall meetings as it relates to the JPS proposed bond package. Our first meeting is going to be next Tuesday night. It'll be held in Precinct 3, which will be located that'll be the Northeast Sub Courthouse in Hurst, and it starts at 6:30 in the evening.
Court members, you have before you the minutes of our regular meeting of June the 16th.
Move approval.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Now comes our time of resolutions and proclamations. Our first resolution, as we begin the planning for our new civil courts building, which is going to open, I think we're going to start moving in next month and will officially open around August the 1st. As we did with the Family Law Center, we chose to have those individuals who were going to be utilizing the building be a part of the planning of the building. And so we established a committee that helped with that process. And the person who chaired that committee was Mr. D. Kelly. And he, along with Judge Evans and many others, really spent a great deal of time and effort going through that process, and at the same time really listening to everybody who was going to be utilizing and being a part of that building to make sure that it worked. And that, I think, is going to prove to be one of the main reasons why that building is going to be so successful, and certainly meant a lot as we went through the family law process, and I know it's going to be just as much a part of the success of the civil courts building. As we kept moving forward with the planning, Mr. Kelly came forward and said that he really wanted to help with the Lawyers Lounge and be a big part in that. And so today, in recognition of not only his work and service on the committee for the entire courts building, but also for his dedication and for his emphasis on wanting to make the Lawyers Lounge something to be very proud of, we're going to present him with we're going to present him with a proclamation or a resolution today, but then we're also going to show you the plaque that is going to go there in the lounge, but then also we're going to get a copy or a replica of that made for him. So first, let me read this into the record. D.J. Kelly Lawyers Lounge. Whereas D.J. Kelly is a prominent attorney in Tarrant County, a committed Fort Worth community leader, and founder of Kelly, Hart, and Holman. And whereas under his exceptional leadership, direction, and adherence to the highest principles and traditions of the legal profession and service to the public, Kelly Hart has grown and expanded from Fort Worth to include Austin and Midland, Texas, New Orleans, Louisiana. And whereas D earned his Bachelor's of Arts from Texas Christian University and attended law school at George Washington University, and later received the Distinguished Alumni Award from both of these universities. And whereas being a dedicated servant leader, D's commitment to service extends to his community and beyond, serving on numerous boards and receiving many accolades. And whereas among his many honors, D was named Fort Worth's Outstanding Citizen and is a recipient of both the Horatio Alger Award as well as the Blackstone Award given by the Tarrant County Bar Association. And whereas D was appointed the chairman of the Commissioners Court Advisory Committee for the Civil Courts Building Project in 2008, and whereas D is a man whose dedication to his work is matched only by his dedication to the community, now therefore be it resolved that we, the Commissioners Court of Tarrant County, do hereby commend D.J. Kelly on his many contributions to Tarrant County and hereby name the Lawyers Lounge in the new Tom Vandergrift Civil Courts building the D.J. Kelly Lawyers Lounge, and extend to him best wishes for continued success in all of his endeavors. In witness whereof, we have herein to set our hands and cause the seal of Tarrant County to be affixed this 23rd day of June, 2015. I'll move its approval, and we got 4 seconds.
You're right.
Please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Mr. Kelly, you please come forward. This is the little certificate that we have, but then we also have, this is the certificate we want to give you here today, but we're also going to be bringing to you a replica. This is actually what's going to be shown in the building. And so let's turn around here and let's get a picture. Thank you very much. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to give this back to if you'd like to say a few words, we'd love to have you.
First of all, I want to, on behalf of Judge Evans and myself, it's been an honor to be associated with this court in building this great new civil courts building in Fort Worth. It's a magnificent, modern building. It's served this county for many, many years. It's a great honor for me to be associated with you in this building, and I take it, and I can't thank you enough for this resolution. It means a lot to me, and I'll never forget it. And I've long been associated with this court for many years, and I tell you, it's always been a pleasure to be with you, and I'm glad to be of service. This is, I think you've done a great thing for our city and our county. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next proclamation that we have, Commissioner Brooks, I believe you have a proclamation for ratification.
Yes, Your Honor, and I've got the next 2 items after that. If you'll bear with me, we'll get through them. The proclamation for ratification is in recognition of the 150th anniversary of Juneteenth in the state of Texas. You should know, even if you don't, that Major General Gordon Granger landed on the shores of Galveston 2.5 years after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation, thereby announcing to those in Texas that the slaves had been freed. That that announcement has always been celebrated as the Juneteenth holiday, which is the 19th of June. We celebrated that event this past weekend, so I move ratification of the proclamation already presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Secondly, we have a proclamation for Know Your Health Day. If you would read that into the record, Your Honor, I'd appreciate it.
Whereas the Know Your Health Fair is an AIDS Health Care Foundation and Tarrant County Public Health Adult Health Services initiative to increase awareness of and promote testing around STD, HIV, and chronic diseases among at-risk and minority populations. And whereas racial and ethnic minorities are disproportionately affected by HIV, AIDS, and other chronic diseases and represent the majority of the new HIV infections, people living with HIV disease and deaths among people with HIV, and whereas in 2014, 78% of newly diagnosed HIV/AIDS cases in Tarrant County were among the Black and Latino populations, many of whom lack health insurance and are not connected to traditional social services and health care networks. And whereas it is critical to raise awareness of the potential for HIV infections in and at-risk and minority populations and offer cultural and linguistically appropriate STD, HIV, and chronic disease testing and prevention intervention programs. And whereas the Know Your Health Fair brings an opportunity to increase community awareness, to commemorate those lost and those who are suffering from infectious and or chronic illnesses, as well as bring leaders together to advocate for greater services and community involvement to fight these epidemics. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the Commissioners Court of Tarrant County, do hereby proclaim June 27, 2015, as Know Your Health Day in Tarrant County. And further, we urge all community-based organizations, religious communities, civics groups, elected officials, and government agencies to endorse, promote, and or utilize this event to raise awareness of STD, HIV, and chronic diseases in Tarrant County. In witness whereof, we have herein to set our hand and cause the seal of Tarrant County to be affixed this 23rd day of June, 2015.
This partnership between the AIDS Healthcare Foundation and Tarrant County Public Health has proven to be very beneficial to fighting AIDS in this community. I move approval of the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Here to receive the proclamation are Reverend John Reed from the AIDS Healthcare Foundation and Rhonda Hubbard Rockwell of Tarrant County Public Health. Would you please join me at the podium? We got a host of folks. Come on, Jason.
Together all the public health folks that are there.
Yeah.
Y'all may have to come back here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. On behalf of AIDS Healthcare Foundation, we just want to thank you all for all the support that you all give us in this fight for HIV and AIDS. especially my good friend, Commissioner Roy Brooks, who's been in this fight for I don't know how many decades. But again, we just want to thank y'all. And I have brought a couple of people that's living with HIV and AIDS with me that is very important in this fight, and they don't mind speaking out about it. Again, I want to say thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mark.
Good morning.
Morning, Commissioners. Mark Wilson, I'm the Program Manager for Adult Health Services, and I too would like to thank you for the support and the citizens of Tarrant County. In 2014, 11,500 cases of STDs were diagnosed by Adult Health Services. This represents a problem. It's not as bad as it was a few years back, but it's not going down the way we'd like to. The implementation of a new clinic in Arlington, a full-service, 5-day-a-week clinic, Tuesday through Saturdays now, is helping this problem. This is where the Know Your Health Fair is going to take place on this Saturday. It will be in Arlington. We are doing this to increase the awareness throughout the community that, number one, the clinic is there to help. Number two, that for individuals who haven't been abstinent, and I know that's one of the main cornerstones of everything we do, but there's still a need to get that information out. It's starting to happen in the schools now, both Arlington ISD and Fort Worth ISD. So we are making progress. And so I want to thank you for all of your support in making that progress. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And finally, Your Honor, it has been our privilege for the last several years, maybe as long as a decade, to host the Vital Link students from Linebarger, Goggin, Blair, and Sampson. We have a number of kids who are participating in that program. Again, this year, they're all students at McLean Middle School. I have certificates for each one of them, and as is our custom, after I present the certificates, I'd like to invite them up here so that they can take pictures with the court.
Great.
First, I would like to move to receive and file the presentation of the certificates.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to receive and file. Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
All right, I think I'll do this from down in the horseshoe. Students, when I call your name, would you please come up and receive your certificate? Caroline Dwight. That's okay.
Send her up here, Roy.
No, why don't you go around there? Commissioner Johnson doesn't bite on Tuesday. George Garcia. Join Caroline up there.
He had a run-in with a bike. The bike won.
Maribel Garcia.
He told me he got shot.
Christian Gomez. Ryan Halbert. Caitlin Hale. Jimena Hernandez. You can ask her. And Elizabeth Smith.
She said you were close.
All right, Jimena. Is that better?
And who brought this group up here?
Well, the one that looks young enough to be a part of this group. Come on up here.
Oh, I need
Get
to,
up here,
yeah,
too.
you're gonna do, I'll send you the picture.
Commissioner Fickett?
Y'all get on, come on, come on.
And we have the sponsor from,
Where's the line marker person?
Where'd Glenn Lewis go?
He left.
He didn't have the tie on, so we made him leave?
He went to the,
He went to the court downtown? Well, this is the court downtown.
I mean, in the other city.
What other city?
you want to scoot them in closer,
Here we go.
or can you get them all?
Don't go anywhere for a long time.
You need one of these kids down there.
And one more.
Don't leave yet.
And just as a historical note, our own Shannon Fletcher was in the first Vital Link class.
Commissioner Wynn.
Your Honor and fellow commissioners, this morning we have the great honor of celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Arlington July 4th Parade, which is the city of Arlington's oldest and longest running tradition and one of the largest July 4th parades in the nation. Would you please, Your Honor, read the resolution into the record?
You bet. Whereas the Arlington 4th of July Parade is the city's oldest and longest-running tradition, attracting some 70,000 spectators from Texas, other states, and nations, and whereas a nationally recognized event, it is one of the largest 4th of July parades in Texas and is a tradition that continues to bring positive awareness to the downtown Arlington area and to Tarrant County. And whereas the parade is produced by the Arlington 4th of July Association and is made possible by generosity of the community and its merchants, and has always been planned, staged, and presented by a dedicated team of volunteers and board of directors who work year-round, and whereas it is widely respected and proud tradition uniting our community in an old-fashioned family-oriented event where citizens celebrate the USA's independence, and whereas former Tarrant County Judge and longtime Arlington Mayor Tom Vandergriff was a grand marshal of the parade and frequent participant who often praised its value to our area. And whereas in 2015, The parade is celebrating its 50th consecutive year of providing the North Texas area with a red, white, and blue celebration of patriotism, emphasizing love of country and the very best of American values. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the Commissioners Court of Tarrant County, do hereby congratulate the City of Arlington and the Arlington 4th of July Parade Planning Committee on the occasion of their 50th anniversary of the event, and encourage all residents of Tarrant County and North Texas to join the celebration. In witness whereof, we have herein to set our hands and cause the seal of Tarrant County to be affixed this 23rd day of June, 2015.
And I move for its approval.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Here to receive the resolution are, and I'd like to invite you to please come forward to the podium, Ms. Roxanne Thalman, President, Ms. June Owen, Secretary and immediate past President, Ms. Selena Munoz, Sponsorship Chair, and Ms. Donna Darovich, Public Relation.
Y'all are moving around there faster than the peas under one of these comments, moving things around.
I'd like to invite Mr. Ron Wright, Mr. Arlington.
You know, I will also tell you that the parade runs by one Rebecca Barksdale. Is it your?
My grandfather.
Your.
Office
Please make any comment.
Okay, somebody's going to come up here and talk about this thing.
Madam President.
We'd like to thank you for your recognition, your support, and participation in our hometown parade. And we will continue to work diligently in our stewardship to preserve this tradition for many generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we have the recognition of our Tarrant County Employee Appreciation Day donors. Ann Farmer, come on forward.
Yes, sir. I'm sure you remember that we had a break in the rain in May, and at least on one day, the first Tuesday of May, and we're able to celebrate our employees. 28 years ago, one of your members and his friend Tim Curry decided that we needed to recognize employees, and so Commissioner Johnson and D.A. Curry sponsored a hot dog day on the front lawn of was it the courthouse, Judge? Mr. Johnson, was it the courthouse? Where was your first hot dog day 28 years? Right out front. Okay. Well, ever since then, we've been gathering to celebrate our employees. In the month of May, we had 14 different celebrations in 14 different locations, including sub-courthouses, the Resource Connection. We remain committed to the health of our employees by providing alternative foods, including turkey dogs, baked chips, and fruit, as well as our traditional hot dogs, regular chips, and sodas. But we had a great time, and we could not do this effort without the support of some of our friends. Each year, Leisure Foods and Margie Johnson cook those hot dogs for us and provide them down on the lawn. We also have a friend in Five Star Correctional Services that provides us with apples and ice cream and desserts. And our greatest friend, of course, is the Tarrant County's Credit Union, because they underwrite the cost of the event, participate in it, celebrate it, and support it in all those different locations. Today, Lily Newfarmer, Andrea Powell, Melissa Burleson. Carla, are you going to come up too? Carla Reeves. Okay, no. At any rate, they are all here to join us and to let me extend our great thanks to them for underwriting the event.
Y'all all come forward or I'll embarrass whoever sits back here on the wall.
Oh, okay. No. I'm teasing. It's just Carla's way. What we're giving them is just a commemoration of some of the photos.
That's lovely.
Very nice.
Come here and grab one half of them. Are you taking the, you
we
got
take
the
a
picture,
photo,
you're
or-
the picture, huh?
All right. All right.
You need to be out there, Judge.
No, I'm fine right here. See me in the background.
Can I say a few words?
You can.
Yes.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Commissioners.
Good morning, Lily.
Glad to be here, as always. On behalf of the Board of Directors and the staff of Tarrant County's Credit Union, thank you for this proclamation. It really means a lot to us. We're celebrating our 60th anniversary this year. And it is our privilege to continue serving the hardworking employees of Tarrant County and also to help celebrate their efforts during County Employee Appreciation Day. We're absolutely happy to do that year over year. I was going to ask the girls to come forward, but you beat me to the punch. Andrea and Melissa are two of my staff that their hard work, along with the leadership and hard work of Ann Farmer, is the reason why really the County Employee Appreciation Day just goes off without a hitch. It's all that hard work behind the scenes. The board approves the dollars to fund this in the budget every year, and really I just write the check. So they're the ones that, again, thank you for your efforts, and thank you, Ann, as well. And I just want to take one more moment to thank this court for its continued friendship and support over the last 60 years. Thank you.
Thanks, Lily. I would move that we receive and file the, thank you, resolution. Please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Court members, you have before you the consent agenda.
Move for approval of the consent agenda.
We have a motion and a second.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda, with the exception noted on regards to the human resources. Please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Mr. Manius.
Thank you, Your Honor. Members of the Court, we have two additional items. Our first item, we're requesting that the Commissioners' Court approve the appointment of Commissioner J.D. Johnson as the designated delegate, Commissioner Gary Fickus as the first alternate to the 2015 NACO conference.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Members of the Court, on item number 2, we're requesting that the Court consider and approve an exception to the county's travel policy for Judge Berger out of the 322nd District Court. This was actually travel that occurred in April. It was a seminar that was held in Dallas, and Judge Berger spent the night there. She's requesting an exception as far as the overnight travel.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You want to do yours? Hard for me not to say Judge Wilson.
Hello to all of you. I have a brief item, and that is the approval of the interagency agreement between the DA's office, the Criminal District Attorney's office, and the Community Supervision and Corrections Department. It is to fund the drug test for the DA's longstanding DPP program, which is a program for first offenders so that they would not have a criminal conviction if they're able to change their behavior. And we've reached an agreement with the probation department, CSCD, to allow those drug tests at a greatly reduced rate, and we'd ask approval of that agreement.
So moved.
Second.
We have motion and seconds. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Mr. Phillips.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's requested that Commissioners Court approve additional building space for the Tarrant County's Credit Union in the Plaza Building and the Administration Building.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
I'd like
Discussion?
to hear more about that.
Yes, Commissioner, and maybe Lily should discuss their need for the space, but I do know the credit union is growing leaps and bounds, and they've asked to reoccupy the space that they've left on the second floor of this building back in 2010, and they'll be outfitting it with a full teller services, full financial services, loan officer and such. Won't have a regular teller station. It'll be essentially, they call them pods. They'll have to be sit-down pods where the officer sits down and the customer sits down. We'll have little lazy Susans, and it's all kind of new.
Okay.
We got them in our office. They work okay.
It's
Okay.
different.
Well, it's a little more personal than talking to somebody through a glass.
Yeah.
Like we used to do.
Future of the branches are starting to look like more what you would see in your Apple stores, as an example. More inviting, smaller footprint.
You seen one of those in your Apple store there, JD?
Really going away from the traditional teller line. And it really does lead to a more personal experience, keeping in mind and adhering to the security and the safety, right? So that is never, of course, compromised. And so we were committed to installing the teller pods. Commissioner Fickus is absolutely correct, in the new courthouse in Hearst. And we are committed to doing that in all of our future space as well.
Well, I applaud your return to the administration.
Thank you. It's because of the growth supported by this court and the employees and their family members that can all join. Who'd have thought 4.5 years at Plaza we would have already outgrown it? And so it's not a bad problem. And we're thrilled to be, back over in this space. The whole back area, you may recall where my office used to be, et cetera, that's all going to be to support call center functions. Because even though foot traffic in lobbies are going down, because more and more members are using online and mobile, especially our members, we've seen a huge adoption level of mobile and online avenues to reach us. But what that doesn't do is it still increases all the back office support that's needed. Even though you may not need as many tellers or front line folks, the back office is just inundated where we really need to add support staff. So again, not a bad problem. As we grow, we can do more for our members and for the employees of Tarrant County.
Thank you.
We don't have a motion or a second at this point.
Move approval.
Second.
And is this of item number one, or is this item number one? We have a motion and a second for item number one. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
It's requested the Commissioners Court approve an agreement with the Tarrant County's Credit Union for renovations in several of the credit union's branches in Tarrant County buildings.
Move approval.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Glenn?
Move to receive and file personnel agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to receive and file the personnel agenda. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Good morning, and thank you.
Good morning, Ms. Glenn.
Vinny, come on down. How are you?
Good. Good morning, Your Honor, and members of the court.
Good morning.
We have two items before you requesting approval today. Item number one is approval for amendment number 1 for the FY15 Public Health Department fee schedule. There's a few items in there that are new services that we're offering, and then there's about 3 or 4 vaccines that cost has gone up, so we're trying to increase the fee schedule to match those.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Item number 2 that we're requesting is approval of interim financing for the Texas Department of State Health Services preparedness grants, the Laboratory Response Network grant, the Preparedness Hazard grant, and the Preparedness Cities Readiness Initiative 2016 grants. The grant year starts on July 1st. We have been told that the contracts are on their way, yet not arrived, so we're requesting interim financing to pay for staffing and other expenses for the programs.
Move approval. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, Penny.
Mr. Beecham. Good morning.
Good morning. I was on vacation last week, and I understand that LSU lost to TCU twice by how many runs?
Y'all were already out by the time you were on vacation last week.
We lost by 3.
Yeah, well, it's just...
Was it close?
No, it wasn't.
I hate it when that happens. We have 2 items for your
But
consideration.
we did last a little bit longer than y'all did.
Yes, sir.
Now, guys.
We have 2 items for your consideration this morning. Our first item is a bid award recommendation for bid 2015-117. It's a bid for the Tarrant County Plaza Building and Parking Garage Elevator Alteration Replacement Project. Recommendation would be to award the low bidder, Thyssen-Krupp Elevator, amount of $2,018,697. If this is approved, we're seeking contract approval, acceptance of the payment, and performance bond.
What was wrong with it, with the elevator?
David?
Commissioner, these 10 elevators, or 7 in the Plaza building and 3 in the Plaza garage, are at the end of their service life. They're about 25 years old, 26 years old. The ones in the Plaza garage we've had some exceptional problems with. They're not completely in disrepair today, but we need to go ahead and modernize them, replace the controllers, the motors and such, so they'll last another 25 years.
Okay. Thank you.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
And our second and last item is another bid award recommendation for RFP 2015-127. It's an RFP for excess workers' compensation insurance. Recommendation would be awarded to McGriff, Siebels, and Williams of Texas. The estimated annual premium is $161,514.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Are there any appointments today?
I have some.
Okay.
Quite a few.
Well, while you're at that, when you get, can I add on, I'll add on to yours at the end, so
Okay.
go ahead.
I'd like to appoint Rebecca Barksdale as county representative to the following Precinct 3 tax increment financing zone boards: Colleyville TIF Zone Number 1, Euless TIF Zone Number 1, Keller TIF Zone Number 1, North Richland Hills TIF Zone Number 2, North Richland Hills TIF Zone Number 1, Richland Hills TIF Zone Number 1, South Lake TIF Zone Number 1, Trophy Club TIF Zone Number 1.
And then I would like to reappoint Ken Barr as one of our representatives to the NTTA.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
He's still chair?
He is still chair.
How long does he?
There's not a term limit on that. And he and Moshe Haddad have been doing a fantastic job for us. Okay, you have before you the claims, including the addendum.
Move approval of the claims, including the addendum.
Second.
A motion is second to approve the claims, including the addendum. Please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Briefing items, Mr. Manius?
Thank you, Your Honor. Members of the court, we have 2 items to bring to you this morning. The first is the MacArthur Foundation Safety and Justice Challenge Grant. Mr. Smith is here to address the court at this time.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Good morning.
As indicated in your court communication, the Commissioners Court approved the submission of the MacArthur Foundation Safety and Justice Challenge Grant on March the 3rd, 2015. There were 2 resolutions that were signed in support of this grant. One was by Commissioners Court and one was by the Justice Executive Planning Committee. What I've done here is I'd like to be able to provide you a handout of these 17 letters of support. I thought the 17 letters of support were very impressive, to be able to not only get those from the county leadership, but countywide from our local area law enforcement agencies. The support's there for the project overall. Although Tarrant County was not awarded the grant, obviously there's going to be a continued interest to examine the criminal justice system closer and also address the over-incarceration issues in the system itself. And yes, there are over-incarceration issues. We found out as we went through our planning committees. I also like to be able to, I don't know if everybody is here, but we have a grant committee that worked on this for about 3 months. So I'm going to try to do this in about 3 months and 3 minutes. But we have the Sheriff's Office who participated, Alan Dennis, Eric Metcalf, and John Ray. Are they here? John? Judiciary, Judge Carr, Randy Webb, Greg Sugar. Right. Leighton Niles is here. Criminal District Attorney's Office, Sharon Wilson and Shannon Fletcher. Pretrial Release, Michelle Brown. Information and Technology, Sharon Coleman. Is she here? Chris, thank you for your help. Cornerstone Assistant Network, Roddy Urey and Mike Doyle. And MHMR Ramey Headings. Clearly, we had a lot of collaboration, a lot of help. Some of the categories that I'm going to overview real quickly here for you that seem to be of a concern we want to address. Number one, and listed by priority, I may add, the screening, improvements in screening, data collection, and identification, and alternatives to the incarceration of our seriously mentally ill people in our jail. Number two, the utilization of data-driven risk assessments that could increase the number of persons released from jail and the average length of stay. The reduction of high recidivism rates that may be caused by the absence of state jail post-release supervision, substandard state and local reentry programs. More program research and evaluation is needed in order to address more creative ideas to be able to reduce our number of bookends coming into the jail. One would be the Field Citation Release Program by law enforcement. City of Fort Worth Police Department is studying that as we speak. The discovery process, prison inmate transfer programs. Other areas that were brought up that we can creatively look at is the use of detoxification centers instead of drunk tanks, community mental health centers instead of jail, and state-mandated reentry plans. We can just find a better way of doing things based on the committee's recommendations and how we submitted the grant. But also as a result of the MacArthur, of this grant process itself, we really established a high level of cooperation and collaboration among our players in the criminal justice system. I think it's been unprecedented since I've been here. We developed closer relationships with our colleges and university, which was apparent by the RFP that was developed by Tarleton State University. Dr. Rhonda Dobbs is here. They put in some overtime working on that RFP. Then it was just last week the Justice Executive Planning Committee met, and I provided them an update of this Tarleton State University RFP, and they voted unanimously that we need to continue to support this project and to recommend to Commissioners Court to consider funding it. That's the reason I'm here today. I'm just the messenger. The end result is going to be an action plan that's going to be developed addressing these issues that I just mentioned to you, the identification of solutions and evidence-based recommendations to the court. Personally, I know we've all worked on jail population issues and control issues over the years. This may be one of our best efforts because of the effort and the collaboration we have received from everybody. And the information is still yet to come after the research. So I just open it up for questions. And we have Tarleton State here. We have the Justice Executive Planning Committee here.
I'd like to thank all of those who have worked on this grant for their participation in helping to pull this program together. I had no idea when I introduced this grant program to Tarrant County that it would be so well received, and it's gratifying that it was a catalyst to bring all of our stakeholders together. Les is quite right. Even though we were not awarded the grant, there is still work to do. And the recommendation that we partner up with our friends from Tarleton is a good one. And I'd like to see us go ahead and enter into that partnership. The dollar amount of the commitment is
$22,031.
It's a small amount of money compared to the results that will be produced in our criminal justice system in terms of savings and in our community by addressing the issues of over-incarceration. So are we agendized to go ahead and adopt this?
We're simply asking for direction now. We can get direction.
That doesn't answer my question.
No, we're not, because what we're trying to do is bring the contract to you, Commissioner.
All right. Very good.
Thank you.
Your Honor, if I could say something, Les has done a tremendous amount of work on this, and a lot of people don't realize because Les doesn't come before court that often, but he's been our criminal justice coordinator for a long time. And it takes a lot of work, dedication, and really leadership to pull the groups together. Unless we worked with Commissioner Brooks, and Commissioner Brooks, thank you for this. Commissioner Johnson, you've worked with Les in everything that we've done on our jail, and we do great things over there, but we're always trying to get better. So I just wanted to say personally, Les, you did a great job on this.
Thank you, Les.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Commissioner Brooks, we will now bring this back up to the court for an action item.
All right. Thank you.
Members of the court, we can go to the legislative issues. You can tell that we are in the process now that the veto period is over with by the governor, that I believe that we've scheduled mid-July as the date that we're going to be bringing to you the full briefing on the state legislative issues. You will find in your court material our Washington Bureau's report to you, and we'll try to answer any questions the court might have.
Any questions?
If none, Your Honor, that's all we have at this time.
Mr. Shugart, are you shepherding those young folks next to you?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to tell us what they're doing for Tarrant County this summer?
Sure.
Come on forward. Come on forward.
Why don't you bring them with you?
Lack of preparation is no excuse, Mr. Sugar.
Are these attorneys?
As you all know, the world does need more attorneys.
You're finished now, Mr. Shugart. Go ahead and sit down.
Judge Carr is very progressive in bringing on interns in the criminal justice system. And once during the summer, I usually do bring 2 or 3. Apparently, I bring 5 this time to see how the process of the Commissioner's Court operates, because it's important to Judge Carr that he knows that without the help of the Commissioner's Court, he's unable to do what he needs to do, and he wants his interns to know that.
So y'all are at various schools. Come on, introduce yourself, and why don't you go ahead and tell us what school you're at.
My name is Alexis Gebhardt, and I am at Texas Tech School of Law.
My name is Benjamin Shepard, and I attend Texas A&M University undergrad.
There's hope for you. You haven't decided to go to law school yet, right?
No, he's in law school.
No, he said he was undergrad.
Oh, okay.
My name is Allie Hasher, and I'm at Oklahoma City University School of Law.
That's excellent.
Hi, my name is Caitlin White, and I attend TCU. Go Frogs.
Go Frogs.
My name is Kyle Beckert, and I go to Baylor Law School.
Thank y'all for being here today.
Thank you.
With that, we will recess our open meeting and proceed to close to discuss items exempted under Section 551.071, 072, 074, 076, and 087 of the Texas Government Code. Having returned from our closed session, we have no business to conduct at this time. However, we are going to discuss one of our upcoming court meetings.
Your Honor, as it
Okay,
relates...
go ahead.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Well, I know what you're fixing. We said, go ahead with your comments.
Your Honor, under agenda announcements, the agenda for July 7th, there's going to be a groundbreaking that is going to happen on a TIF or a tax abatement that we participate in. That groundbreaking is at 10 o'clock, and there'll be other activities after that groundbreaking. What we'd like to talk with the court a little bit about is changing the time of that court meeting. Sometimes you might want to consider is 9 o'clock that morning.
The one thing we may want to do is check with Ms. Farmer. She may have already sent letters out to all of the folks who are celebrating their anniversaries that day and may have indicated to them that the start time would be 10 o'clock.
If we start at 9 o'clock and this program is at 10 out there, there's no way we can finish court, and those that want to attend can make it out there by 10 o'clock.
And I understand that. They might be able to make it out there by the lunch at noon. It's because of you never know what's going to happen with the traffic. That's the other side of the coin, so it doesn't. But anyway, you may want to check. We may want to go ahead and leave it at 10 just because the letters may have already been sent out to everyone.
Okay.
And we're not just the one, because, it'd probably be it could easily be 100 people.
Okay. We still have another court date before the 7th, and next Tuesday we'll discuss this.
Discuss it more.
I would ask that you send a letter of protest.
Yes, sir, I will. With that, that's all we have at this time, Your Honor.
There being no further business, we are adjourned.